Hello, welcome to Treb Talk, and I'm your host, Treb. So, my podcast title for today is The Age Gap, Work, Wisdom, and Discrimination. So let's talk about that for a little bit. I'm going to just give you my experiences and what I've dealt with. So basically, what I'm dealing with right now, I'm looking for a full-time position, and I've been looking for it since October. I got laid off back in October. I don't think it was based on age. It was just based on the company not doing well. And I was working in marketing, and I finally, after 20-something years of after getting my bachelor's degree, I finally got a job working in the arts. I've done more with my theater minor than my major. My major is in art. And I finally started doing that when it came to marketing, because marketing just comes easy to me and I really enjoy it. I do it all the time on my personal life. So marketing is fun. I enjoyed it. I was doing videos. I was making videos, creating videos, putting it on our website, on the company's website. I was also doing keeping track of Google Analytics and trying to make sure that that we are searched more often. We get a lot of views on Facebook, on TikTok, and on Instagram, and I really enjoyed that. Making postings on Facebook, I would do pictures and put posters up and do posts that were in regards to our label business, so that makes it a little bit more appealing for people who are looking at purchasing labels from us. So I really enjoyed that, but it came to an end in October. Well, since then, I've been looking for marketing and sales jobs. I have applied for over 200 different jobs, and so that's frustrating. And I think I've only had four responses since then. One good one that is because I knew a friend that worked there who actually got me an interview. So that was nice of her to do that. However, they were looking for someone, I think, within that company. They just needed to hire people outside, or not hire, but interview people outside of that company so that it just looks good and probably on paper. And they may not even hire that many people outside of their workplace. Which is nice. I mean, yeah, it's good to promote within. I don't blame them for that. But it was a position that I would have loved to have had. It would have helped me financially. It would have been a good experience. I had the experience in it because I did that in Sears headquarters when I worked there. And it was in QA. It was a QA analyst job. So I do enjoy that position as well. It was never always in the art field. It was never always in the marketing, but QA analyst, transportation, that type of thing has always been pretty good for me. I've always enjoyed that. And but things are changing. Like I said, I've applied for over 200 jobs, got 4 interviews. 3 out of those 4 interviews were like those stupid pyramid schemes. So you kind of know when you're talking to the person on the phone or through email back and forth, you're like, yeah, this is not for me. I'm not interested in a pyramid scheme. And so I get a lot of responses from pyramid schemes, and because they don't care what age you are, they just want you to pay money to be a part of this pyramid scheme so they can make money. So there's that you're dealing with. Well, anyways, what I've noticed is that I have changed my resume about 8 different times, probably more than that, but 8 that I can count of. Now, during those 8 different times, I finally changed my resume. I had a 2-page resume, and I think it was too long, and these HR employees were probably not wanting to read. They kind of go through it really quickly. What I'm finding out is that HR is not really looking at these resumes. It's an AI system. Because when you do it through Indeed jobs, because everybody's looking through Indeed, everybody's using Indeed. No one's using these other job postings. No one cares about those other ones. So it's Indeed that everyone's looking at. And that sucks because it's harder for me to, I wish there was more options. I could apply directly on their website, but unfortunately, Indeed is so big that it's easier to find jobs that are opened. Now, however, I found some fake job postings, so jobs that were actually fake, and I found that out that if you Google search that, companies will do that so they get a tax break. It's crazy. It's wrong and it's horrible. But yeah, I applied for those fake job postings too. And then you won't know it until it's real unless you compare it to their website. And if it's the same job posting, you're like, okay, then maybe it's legit. Well, anyways, AI is looking at these resumes. You submit a resume and you get a message. A lot of times you'll get a message from Indeed that says, hey, are you okay with AI looking through your resume and then submitting it to HR? And you have to say yes, because if you say no, they're not going to look at it. Well, this is a computer generated system that's looking at your resume, and they're looking for keywords. Do you know what those keywords are? You don't. You have no idea. You have no clue what those keywords are. Unless you talk to somebody that's within that company or somebody that works for that company that can kind of guide you. If you have a friend that works for that same company, can guide you and say, hey, yeah, this is the keywords that they're looking for. You might be able to get your resume looked at. So that's frustrating. Keywords. You don't know what those are. And I get it that they have to use AI to go through those resumes because they're looking at 1,000 or plus or more resumes every job posting. And I know this because you can see in Indeed how many applicants have applied for this job. And most of the time it's over 1,000 people. And within like 30 minutes of when the job was posted. That's crazy. That tells you where our economy is right now. It sucks. And I feel positive it's going to get better. We knew this is all going to come hitting us hard. I knew this ahead of time. And so it's going to take a while for us to get back in with our economy flowing again, so that there is there's like less people looking for jobs, but more jobs out there, if that makes sense. I'm just rambling on. So, anyways, let's get back to the point. So, work. Well, I have a lot of work experience because of my age, and I'm getting close to 50 years old, all right? Which is crazy to think about, but I am getting close to 50. So now we understand that I have all this experience. So I cut that in half. I took my resume and I made it to one page. I cut it in half to where it was about 12 years of work experience. And then on my graduation date for my bachelor's degree, I just got rid of it because I think that's hurting me too. And when I did these changes, I started getting more views. You can actually see people viewing your resume. So that's good. But I'm still not doing well when it comes to the words that they're looking for the searching of how AI searches those keywords. So you don't know about that. I have to go take my resume, put it in AI, and say, give me those keywords for this position. It helps a little bit, but I don't even know if that's working right. So I'm going to still work on that. Hopefully I get something. Anyways, work experience comes with wisdom. Now you're an older person, you have wisdom because you have that work experience. So I don't consider myself really old. I'm just in that middle gap right now. It's in a really strange part of my life. So wisdom, I've gained a lot of wisdom and a lot of experiences from my other jobs in the past. So that would help me get even better at the current position that I'm in or I'm applying for. All right, so you have that. Now let's talk about discrimination. I honestly think and believe, and I'm not alone for saying this. I have a lot of people saying the same thing, that there is an age discrimination. when it comes to the workplace. Now, I don't think that's why I got laid off. I got laid off because the company wasn't doing well. They were making bad choices, poor choices, losing accounts that I created, the accounts that I made that they weren't even following through. This is when I was working in the sales department at that previous job. And then I moved to marketing. And they weren't even continually talking to those people that were bringing in $60,000 plus a month. That was from me. I'm proud to say that I did that. I helped create that experience and that relationship with that customer that they wanted to buy labels from us. And I sent it over to the powers that be, and they didn't even follow up through those people, and they lost that job. They lost that customer. And that was really frustrating. So I just continued working in marketing, and then working through marketing, you kind of see what was going on. They're not making enough money, and we're trying to push marketing as much as we can to all these, to all these companies that are buying labels from us. We want them to see us and notice us, but we're also losing jobs, the jobs that we had in the past. So there was no balance, no good balance there. So anyways, let's talk about the age discrimination. So what I'm seeing is that if they know that you are getting close to 50 or 50 plus or 60 plus, a lot of these companies are not going to hire you. And it's probably because you have that experience and that you are probably going to ask for more money, right? And that's not the case very often. We know that in Illinois, you have to make at least $70,000 or more to survive in Illinois. Because Illinois, you're just paying taxes all over the place. You're just giving taxes left and right, left and right, left and right. Here's my money. Take my money. Oh, this is all the money I get back from my job. Oh, great. That's wonderful. Well, you have all my taxes. Oh, you're not doing anything with those taxes? Oh, that's great. I'm just going to give you free money then. Here's all my money. That's frustrating. It's frustrating to live in Illinois and dealing with that. Other states, they really do well with taxes, and they use your taxes for the good, and they actually do things with those taxes. But Illinois doesn't. Illinois doesn't do anything. I see it firsthand. And I know people that work for the state, and they say the same thing. So I'm getting off my soapbox. All right. Going back to the age discrimination. I think these companies are automatically assuming that you're going to ask for, I need $150,000 a year for this position. That's not the case. A lot of people are just looking for a job. They just need a job because they need to survive in Illinois or in other states. They need to make a good or decent amount or a decent living. They're probably going to pick up a side job, a side hustle. We all do. We all have to because of the economy that we live in. But anyways, that's all I have to say about this podcast. If you are dealing with the same thing, please reach out to me. Send me, comment on my Facebook, or not Facebook, comment on YouTube. You can send me a message. Let me know if you're dealing with the same thing. Share your experiences with me. I would love to hear them. I'll make a part 2. So if you have a good experience that you're dealing with age discrimination in the workplace, like I said, these companies are going to say, we don't do that. We don't do age discrimination. They really are doing that. And the fact is they can't get caught. No one can catch them. There's no way to catch them at all. They're just saying, because of your resume, and they're going to say, we're not going to go in that direction. What they're really saying is you're too old for that position. Anyways, we do hire presidents that are, close to 80. So I'm not pushing 80. I can handle a job. But anyways, that's all I have to say about that. Please like, subscribe. I need the subscriptions. Maybe this will be my next job, my full-time job. I'll be fine with that, until I find something, or maybe I won't. Maybe this will be it. Help me with that. Help me with my goal. I want to use this podcast as my job in the future. Well, it's good talking to you, everyone, and thanks for watching. Talk to you later.